destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Is running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Wembyland is here. It is Wembyland. Or is it San Antonio? Victor Wembanyama. Man, you thought the hype was big in Vegas in the Summer League? Victor Wembanyama is here. The regular season is here. The NBA is here, and night after night, you will get stories. Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to our Thursday opening drive on 95.9 FM. An AM 670 sports animal, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, DC. You get a little Wemby last night?
Of course.
Get into, you watch Wemby's debut?
Got a little Wemby, and I got to say, I am so excited for his career.
He's
going to be fun to watch.
I heard a question on the way in. It was almost impossible to answer. It was the show before us, Maggie Perloff. They put up a poll question, and they asked, the question is, will Victor Wembanyama live up to the hype? And it seems like a really easy, innocuous question, but I started to think the degree of the hype, right? I mean, what the hype is, he's the next LeBron. And so if he doesn't live up to that, if he just becomes, I don't know, the next Kevin Durant, right? Or the next Devin Booker, he's failed to live up to the hype. I almost think it's an unfair question. I don't even know how to answer it. And yeah, was he like record breaking yesterday? Look, man, welcome to the league. Welcome to the big boys. Welcome to playing with the best players in the world. Victor Wembanyama had 15 points and had 5 rebounds in 23 minutes of a loss to the Dallas Mavericks. Keep in mind that the Spurs are still not a really good team. In fact, there's a reason they got Victor Wembanyama. But, I mean, how would you even answer the question, will Victor Wembanyama live up to the hype?
He probably won't live up to the hype.
If the hype is that he's going to be the next Michael or LeBron, then the answer is probably no.
Then it's going to be no.
Yeah.
That is really hard to do.
But if he's going to be the next...
He's going to be one of the top players in the game. I can see that.
Will he be a Giannis? Will he be a Joel Embiid kind of a player? Yeah, I think he can be
If he's
that.
a Giannis, it means he wins championships, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, if he's a Joel Embiid and he's an MVP, he's pretty good. Like, give the young man an opportunity to grow into his body, into the league, into the game, into himself. Yeah, it's sometimes you watch a game and you don't understand it. I was watching, Addie was doing homework. I said, hey, look up for a minute. And I said, see that dude right there? She's like, which one? I said, that one. Number, what was he, 0? What number is he wearing? In white.
1.
All right, number 1 in white. And I said, okay, that dude he's standing next to, who's standing next to Luka. I said, that dude's 7 feet tall. He's like, that little dude right there? I'm like, yeah, you lose perspective, right? You forget that every dude you're watching is 6'8". And then this guy is shoulders above them. It's amazing how big he is. I think he's going to be spectacular. But I didn't know how to answer, will he live up to the hype?
Well, they phrased it as, in 10 years, does he win 1 MVP and 1 championship? And if that's living up to the hype, that's kind of how they phrased it.
All right.
If he did that, is that living up to the hype, do you think?
So I don't think it is. But if you go back and look how long it took Michael or LeBron to win a championship, right, then it would be. So first of all, I don't think that's what the hype is. I almost think the hype is bigger. But if you're going to ask me right now, will I lay a future? Which way will I go? And you know I'm always wrong when I bet. But I would say yes. Within 10 years, he will win an MVP and a championship.
His defensive presence is unbelievable just because of how long he is, and he affects so many different shots. I like that he came in the fourth quarter, and there wasn't hesitation, and he just played.
Yeah.
The dude was lost, man. Like, for as long as he is, he picked up 4 fouls like that. And that's going to be a problem because, as you said, he's got to get comfortable. He's going to get in there and get pushed around. It's few and far between, too, that there's guys that can come in and be good right away. Those are the special ones as well.
And define right away. I mean, do you give him a month, or does he have to be good on day one?
Well, I think you just saw. It's just he's still a young guy for all the hype. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I liked in the fourth quarter, even with he picked up his fourth foul, like 2 minutes in the third quarter. Picked up his fifth foul. Came out, still dropping buckets. He's gonna get his shot off over absolutely everyone. Like you see, that's why you're talking about this dude differently, because there's no one like him in the game.
So I think he will learn how to play. He is 19 years old, playing in a new country against the best in the world. Yeah, he played against men last year in Europe. He dominated. This is a different breed of men, right? It just is. And he's going, and the other thing is, the guys in the other locker room have phones too. Right? I mean, they're hearing the clips. They're being asked about this dude. They want a piece of him, man. It's kind of, the Cherry Blazer game, don't you think? Well, it's
absolutely because it's when you're talking about living up to the hype. That's also added pressure.
Yes.
Like who didn't have any pressure and played better than Victor Wembanyama? Derek Lively last night.
He was terrific
for the Mavericks.
Yep.
And so everyone else is handling things differently than Victor Wembanyama has night in and night out.
Yeah, that's right. And so you get a guy like Derek Lively who can go out and score 16 points in 31 minutes and get a double-double at 16 and 10. And you're like, wait, Derek Lively? Who's Derek Lively? Well, he was the 12th overall pick, right? And at a Duke. Oh, that's who he is. So you're going to hear about guys. You know how I am judging on a sample size of one. I really struggle with that. And he will be good. Was he spectacular in his debut? No. Did he stink? He didn't do that either, by the way. He had 15 points, 5 rebounds, turned the ball over 5 times, committed 5 fouls, and they lost. Team's not very good. Name me 4 other dudes on that team. You can't. I mean, you can. But you guys all just watched the game last night. You probably still can't give me 4 guys on that team, right? And Doug McDermott on that team? Yeah. Okay, what did he do? So he's going to be fine. And I'm going to tell you, I think when we sit here 1 month from today, what's today, the 26th? When we sit here on November 26th, I think we're going to be talking about a dude who's made insane improvement as he adjusts to the NBA. So easy. It was fun to watch. I know it was a big anticipated debut. And he was, oh my goodness, he didn't own the league. You're right. He's a 19-year-old kid who just came into the league, who, by the way, I do believe is going to get better every single month. And by the end of the year, you're going to be going, all right, I get it. I do. I just
takes time.
Yeah, I just think that's where it's going to be. You had another debut last night. Oklahoma City beat Chicago 124-104. And it was a long-awaited debut of last year's number 1 pick, huh?
Number 2 pick.
He was number 2 pick overall. What do you think of that? With Chet Holmgren.
A little underwhelmed with Chet.
Yeah.
In his debut. But these guys, they have to go through the physicality of NBA basketball. Like Chet's the same thing as Victor. These dudes weigh like 7 pounds.
Exactly right.
Yeah, they're good. They can handle the basketball, they can shoot, they can block shots, but then you still got grown men going at you, and it's take a little to get used to.
Grown men who've been doing this, who are savvy at this, who are professionals. And Chet Holmgren sat out last year with the injury. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds in 25 minutes of the Thunder's win over Chicago. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 31 to lead the way for OKC, who could be really good. There's some new blood, man. Sacramento was not some sort of a fluke last year. They are really good. Get used to some of the new blood. New Orleans last night.
That was the biggest.
Zion back.
That was the biggest thing for me on the basketball court.
What's that?
Zion Williamson
Was back last night.
is a man.
Yeah.
No one's pushing that dude around.
No.
And he looked fantastic.
He looked healthy. He looked great. He had 23 and 7 last night. He looked strong going to the hole. He looked strong defensively. He looked healthy.
Like you forget when he's out and everyone's talking about his weight and this or that, like when he has a basketball in his hand, that man can get to the basket.
Well,
quickly.
remember that he was the last Victor Wembanyama. He was the last. He's going to be the next LeBron. He's going to be the next Michael. He was the most recent of those guys, right? That was, 3 years ago? It seems like yesterday, for crying out loud. And he has been injured the majority of his career. Still got a gigantic guaranteed extension. And last night he looked special. He looked special. Did you see any Sacramento? Sacramento's nice, dude.
Picked up where they left off.
Sacramento is nice. There's going to be a lot of good stories. Everybody's going to look at the Celtics 108, 104 over the Knicks, and people are going to look at all the big names. Watch some of the stuff that's going on a little bit under the radar because Miami got by Detroit 103, 102, which was tight last night. Oklahoma City's going to be one of those teams that you're going to need to take a look at and watch. Sacramento beat Utah 130 to 114 last night, and the De'Aaron Fox dunk was bonkers.
Malik Monk.
Was it Malik Monk? Mm-hmm. Is that the one? Okay, you're right. It was Malik Monk. It was
Malik Monk.
Yeah.
And the Malik Monk really came on last year as just that sixth man off the bench for Sacramento. Utah overachieved. They're going to come back down to earth some this season with what they did last year. The Kings are in position. That's the top 4 or 5 team in the Western Conference. It's stacked out there, but they're going to win a lot of games. The second biggest wow factor to me.
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis
The
in a
Knicks.
Celtics uniform.
I mean, with the Celtics against the Knicks? Yeah.
30 points. And we're talking about a guy that he's been the future of a franchise when the Knicks drafted him. He's tried to be the number 2 with Luka Doncic. This is a good player. And all of a sudden, you go to the Celtics, you're the number 3 option.
Maybe number 4. Yeah, but number 3, yeah.
But you just saw, he still had 4 blocks, 30 points, a 3-point shooting.
Played 38 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah, no, they played him 38. Tatum played 39. Brown played 38. Drew Holiday. The addition of Drew Holiday is, I don't think it was quiet, but I don't know if it was appreciated how good that makes them.
Now you have this shot blocker in the post and this great one-on-one defender in Drew Holiday.
Spectacular. Oof. Yeah, no, they're built. They're built. Your guy from Butler, the former coach, why am I forgetting his name?
Brad Stevens
did a hell of a job putting that roster together. And let me give you a guest list for today. 8 o'clock, we're talking Lobo football. Andrew Henry, the running back, who was their leading rusher last week, the running back transfer from Louisiana Monroe, who came in with a lot of hype and is now seemingly healthy. He is going to be with us as the Lobos get ready to go to Nevada. 8 o'clock this morning. Looking forward to having a conversation with Andrew Henry, and he'll tell you why Lobos are going to win 2 in a row. 8:30 this morning, we are graced by the presence of CBS Sports' Jerry Palm as we go into the final week of October, the final weekend in October, and games get bigger and bigger and bigger in college football. We'll test the landscape and see what he knows about the Michigan situation and the whole sign stealing thing. It's right on his beat and right in his backyard. So we'll catch up with Jerry Palm at 8:30. You are invited to be part of the program at 505-246-0610. Come on in and be part of that. That is our phone line. That is our text line, 505-246-0610. Your emails come in. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the Twitter or the X, it's _ JJ Buck. And of course, on the Facebook, you can watch the show. The OD in the AM. Adrian's producing there. It's also on Comcast Channel 26 and on our Facebook page and Comcast or on ProView Network's YouTube channel. When we get back, we got football tonight. Buccaneers, Bills. One of those quarterbacks is listed as questionable, as is the Brock Star. What does that mean going into the weekend? We'll do that when we get back on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and tonight football. Hey, the cold winter weather is approaching, probably pretty quickly. It's not kind to your vehicle. Give your car the protection it needs. Get a visit from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. You notice how I said get a visit from, not take a visit to. They come to you. You don't take your vehicle to them. You don't have to go take it there, drop it off, wait, or get a ride. No. You're busy. They get it. While you're in the office, they're in the parking lot. While you're in the house, they're in the driveway, and they're detailing your vehicle. What does that mean? When they are done, it looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. This isn't just going through a car wash now. This is detailing like the pros do, because they are the pros and they are the best there is. I recommend it because they offer great detailing services, but their ceramic coating and their paint protection film work like magic. No more dirt, water stains, or mud. The protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation damage to your car's paint with an opportunity to get lifetime warranty. You can't go wrong. On the Spot Automotive Detailing also offers window tint services for your vehicle. Visit them online. You can book there. You can get a gift card. It is a great gift. OTSDetailing.com. OTSDetailing.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Oh, it's over.
So
It's
that
over.
that league that I'm really bad in, we established a toilet bowl years ago so you have something to play for. So the teams who don't get in the playoffs get to play for like a couple of bucks and whatever. There's a bracket. It's kind of good because it keeps you going.
I am legally not allowed to say what our toilet bowl is called.
Yeah.
But I am very much running
Legally
to that.
not allowed. I appreciate that. All right, what do I get tonight? Buccaneers and Buffalo Bills. The game is in Buffalo. It's at 6:15 right here on the Sports Animal. It is tonight. The Bills coming off this is bonkers to me. And 9.5 seems like such a thick number, doesn't it? The Bills last week lost to the Patriots. 29-25. They're at home. Now, maybe they know something about Baker Mayfield's health that we don't know. Baker Mayfield's listed as questionable. And that means that would be Kyle Trask. Is that right? Is that the backup there?
I think Baker's playing.
I think he's playing too.
He got limited practice and stuff then. So
I think he's playing too. 9.5 seem like a thick number to you?
Yes, it does.
Bills win tonight, right? I think.
I would want to take the Bucks in this case.
With the 9.5.
9.5. Even with Tampa Bay not scoring, because they did only score 13 points against the Atlanta Falcons. This Buffalo Bills defense just let Mac Jones get very comfortable. And that's been the biggest question mark to me. I know Josh Allen, he can be hot and cold. The turnovers, it's the defense is going to decide how good Buffalo is.
So I thought maybe, okay, it's going to be a Buffalo night. It's going to be cold. Tonight, mostly cloudy, chance of showers, low of 62. That sounds beautiful in Buffalo this time of year, doesn't it? So it's not a weather thing. I don't know, but play that as you will. There's other stuff going on. The Brock Star is in concussion protocol, and it was just with K-Dog. He's one of the stars on one of the FMs here at Cumulus Radio, and he's a big 49er fan. He's like, well, that explains, maybe that's why he played the way he did, Brock Purdy did last week. And I'm like, okay, let's go with that. You go with that. I saw I don't know, stat, fact, whatever it is, that nobody this year who has been in concussion protocol during the week has been cleared to play over the weekend. Which, now, just because nobody has doesn't mean nobody will. But if that trend continues and they get an extra day, they play on Monday night. It's the Sam Darnold show. Now, I will tell you that I think they've got it better than most when it comes to backup quarterbacks. If you're going to say, let's go, I mean, do I want P.J. Walker? Do I want, I don't even know who the Rams got, or do I want, was it Brett Rippon or Jared Stidham? Or, I mean, Sam Darnold feels like, okay, if that's what we got to do, let's go to the Sam Darnold show. But Sam Darnold has been taking the reps. They will play, who do they play on Monday night?
They don't play Monday night.
They don't play Monday night.
They played last Monday
They just
night.
came off of Monday night. Yeah, that's right. They get
played the
Cincinnati.
Bengals.
Yeah, they get Cincinnati. And then they get a bye week. Makes you think with the bye week coming up. Now, this is a big one for them. They lost 2 in a row. To eat 3 in a row going into a bye week and say we haven't won in a month. I mean, that's like this is a big one for them. I still think they're the class of that division. I still think they're one of the classes
Sam
of the
Darnold
NFC.
career resurgence.
Is this work? I mean, we're watching Baker
System
Mayfield.
quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Shanahan makes everybody a great quarterback is what I'm told, right? How do you feel about this one?
You have more confidence in someone like Sam Darnold that has been there, done that in this system with Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. You get Trent Williams back at left tackle. You should be feeling very good about that team still being successful at home.
Yeah. I do too. I do too. And I think Cincinnati's scuffling, although they're coming off a bye. All right. We had a little conversation yesterday about we got to come up with a better name than Tush Push. Don't we? I mean, I love brotherly shove. But whatever. All right. That play that everybody in the world's doing. Yeah. Yeah.
It describes what's happening.
It flat out does. And if we could have butt fumble, we
can have Tush Push.
We could have, how about the butt rumble? No?
Seems like more of a problem than Tush Push would be.
I think it's been a problem. All right. They don't know where Purdy got hurt. And this is why I bring up the Tush Push. He attempted a pair of quarterback sneaks midway through the fourth quarter. Mike Shanahan, his head coach, said those plays might have been where the concussion occurred. They don't know. He didn't get hit a lot. And there's video replays of those attempts. It came with 7:03 left in the game. Purdy was running behind his right guard, trying to pick up the first down. And Jordan Hicks, a linebacker from Minnesota, runs into the pile, makes helmet-to-helmet contact with Brock Purdy. Now, I don't know that anybody's claiming there was anything illegal. I mean, it's football, right? We had this conversation yesterday. But after that sneak attempt, Brock Purdy went 2 for 5, which 2 for 6 if you include the spike to stop the clock. 20 yards, 2 interceptions to finish the game. And then he got the diagnosis of the concussion, which put him in jeopardy for this game. Does that... I don't think so. I'm going to tell... I'll offer my answer. I mean, I just don't think so. But does that factor into the conversation on this whole, well, are they going to allow the tush push, and are they going to outlaw the tush push in the offseason?
No.
I agree with you.
Got to get low.
I mean, that's where Philadelphia has this thing figured out, right? Their dudes get low, and they got a quarterback who squats 600 pounds.
If you're a quarterback that's doing a quarterback sneak, and you're like, I'm just going to lay on the back of my center, what do you think's going to happen? Target practice for the defense.
It's 100%. And again, football is a game. Find dude with ball, hit dude with ball. Right?
And they're trying to stop your forward momentum, so it's not a situation where it's like, hey, we're just going to wrap you up here. No, everyone is just missiles into that pile.
Do you think I'm gonna parlay back into yesterday a bit? And I know we're touched late, and I'll get you out. Do you think the rhetoric from coaches is going to be asked to tone down in the next 5 years? Defensive coach Danny Gonzalez does it all the time, and I'm going to preface this with I have zero problem with it, but I wonder if this is where it's going. I heard it from a number of other college players this weekend. Whether it's bad intention, bad humor, defensive players are taught to get to the ball in numbers with bad humor, with bad intentions. Does that insinuate you're trying to hurt the young man? I mean, you see where I'm going with this? The rhetoric of football, the whole thing, because that's a thing. It's been a thing for years. Defensive players get there with bad intentions, get there with bad humor, right? Everybody, I want 11 hats at the football, right? I don't know that you can take that out of the game, but do you think at some point somebody's going, well, you can't say get there with bad intentions. Did you hear what he said? Congress is outlawing the bad intent. I mean, no, honestly.
It's not going to change the way people play football.
Well, certainly it's not. I'm just thinking the rhetoric.
Can't be a football player and not think about physicality.
I think everybody who straps on a helmet at whatever level understands that it's physical and you might get hurt. And if you play football, you're going to get hurt. And at some point, you're probably going to get injured, right? But let me just tell you something. You can get injured playing soccer. My daughter got injured and was on crutches running cross country. I don't know a less contact sport than cross country. No, honestly. I mean, athletes get injured, man. Now, is it different? My mother thinks football, honestly, so it's a bunch of dudes out there just trying to hurt each other. Like, that's how she described it to me a few weeks ago. I'm not watching that. I'm watching the baseball. A bunch of guys out there just trying to hurt each other. That's really not what it is, but there's a perception that's what it is, right? Mom, football's been good to me. I made a living in football. Easy on the football bashing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Green Bay Packers, proud franchise. Got a whole lot of love going on, or do they? And do they have any confidence left after their quarterback has struggled the last couple of weeks? We'll get into them a little bit. Getting to Lobo football at 8 o'clock with Andrew Henry. Jerry Palm at 8:30 from CBS on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football. Hey, you've got the right to protect yourself and your property. International Protective Service is another layer of that protection. It is affordable private security, and I've worked with IPS for years. Glad I do. Suggest that you give them a call and see what they can do for you as well, both at your home and at your business. Look, criminals don't care about laws. IPS is committed to stopping those criminals from targeting your home and your business around the Albuquerque area. IPS has highly trained armed officers. They respond to alarms, usually within 7 minutes or less. The police, great people. They do a great job. They're overwhelmed. They cannot react to every alarm that goes off until it's way too late. Doesn't do you any good. Call IPS. Keep the bad guys away. Protect what you've worked so hard to build. The number's 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. You can go online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indy Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
The sports animal.
Green Bay Packers will play this weekend, as will everybody else. There are no buys. Packers at home against the suddenly in vogue, very hot Minnesota Vikings. What do you think the line is there? Vikings at Packers. The Vikings have beaten the Bears and the Niners the last couple of weeks. Packers coming off their 2-4. They have lost 3 in a row to the Lions, the Raiders, and, oh my goodness, the Broncos. What do you think the line is in that game? This is going to shock you.
Oh, it's going to shock me.
Yeah.
It's going to shock me.
I think so.
If you say it's going to shock me, is it Packers 2.5?
So you thought it was the other way, right? You thought the Vikings were favored. Who do you think? What did you initially think? Tell me.
Well, I initially thought the Vikings would be a favorite.
By what?
Make 2.5, 3.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought too.
Yeah.
Even. Pick 'em.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I don't get it. And again, whenever it just feels like it's stealing, they're stealing from me. Right? Every time, you got to take the Vikings. I mean, it's stealing. It's a straight up pick 'em, right? Every time it feels like it's stealing, they're taking my money. But the Packers and Vikings even in Green Bay. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur is still confident in his team and in his quarterback. Packer fan, you're all over the place. You're everywhere. I see you everywhere. Are you confident in Jordan Love? LaFleur said Love has done enough to, quote, show me that it's all right there, end quote. I'm not even sure what that means. The coach says it's a collective effort to get the offense where it needs to go. Continue, quote, it all works in unison, and so the better everybody is around him, the better he's going to look. Our confidence in him is not wavering one bit. Certainly, I think as the play caller, you put a lot of onus on yourself when things aren't going well. We'll continue to do that, but we got to find a way to generate more points, because when you're generating points, it's just a totally different narrative, end quote. No bleep? Really? So when you score, you feel better about yourself. Look, I like Jordan Love, and I'm not ready to totally throw in the towel. But he's got to start getting better, right? The last 3 games, and especially against the Broncos, I mean, that was the get well game, and it was get well for Broncos.
With Jordan Love, you have to be patient this season.
Yeah.
This has to be, Jordan Love is playing every game he can, if healthy, and then we'll readdress in the offseason. There's not another way to go. This is not one where you got to pull the trigger quickly because you're going to miss out on something or you're wasting a great roster. No, this was still a team that we thought was going to be good defensively. They've been okay, but it's so young around Jordan Love. It's not a team where he necessarily has anyone picking him up. The oldest players are his running backs. And so when he's throwing to Christian Watson, he's throwing to Romeo Doubs, he's throwing to Reed, a rookie tight end. And I think that factors in, too, when you look at some of the issues that they have in offense, the lack of explosive plays, trying to figure out what formula works best for the Packers. When you have that many young players on the field, it's going to look inefficient at times.
I think it's fair. I think you almost have to treat him, I don't even think almost, like a rookie quarterback.
It's not where the Packers wanted to be with it.
No.
It's what they're finding out.
Look, I don't know that. I'll give you this. There's less runway on this, but I don't know that it's all that different from what C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young or what we're going to watch with Will Levis now, what they're going through.
But it should be different.
I understand that, but it's his first year of playing. It's his 3rd year in the league, but it's first year of playing. And you can go through all the reps, all the practice, sit there on the sideline and absorb all you want. When was the last quarterback in this league who came in his first year? I guess Brock Purdy would be your answer, right? Who came in right away and was like, whoa, he's got it. Mahomes was that guy, and it was his 2nd year. He sat his first year behind Alex Smith. Joe Burrow maybe came in ready to go. But who else didn't have some sort of a learning curve? Jalen Hurts did. Right? Lamar Jackson did. They all it took a little bit of time. Now, most of those guys were right out of college. It was their first year. Jordan Love's 3 years removed now, or this is his third year. So I understand that difference, but it is very rare that the dude in his first year playing at this level, whether it's the third year, how good was Aaron Rodgers in his first year? When he finally got to play, I think this is a fair comparison. And I see you looking it up, so I appreciate that, DC. Thank you. But when Aaron Rodgers finally got off the bench, after I believe it was the same thing, a couple of years playing behind Brett Favre, what was the team record? What were his stats?
He threw for 4,038 yards, 28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
All right, then.
He played pretty well.
Yeah, what was the record? Does it say? Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
They were 6-10.
They were 6-10. Okay. I think, look, I'm not sitting here trying to sell you that he's the next superstar. I'm not convinced of that either. I'm just saying it's rare that a dude first year playing in the league, whether he's a rookie or a third year dude, right away says, "Yep, I'm in." It's kind of the Wembanyama conversation in another forum. It's rare. It's not unprecedented. It's not like it's never happened. It's rare.
Well, he's not going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Okay.
Like, that's just impossible to have 3 straight Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
That's fine.
I think what you're still waiting for is has he had that moment where you go, okay.
Kind of in the first couple of games, I think there was a little of that. Maybe in the Bears game, the first game where they won 38-20, and you're like, okay, look at that.
You're just waiting for
the moment,
more of those.
How about the fourth quarter against the Saints when they came back and they were down 17-0, then won 18-17, and I mean that was a moment. Now they've lost 3 straight since, but yeah, that was kind of a moment where you went, oh, all right, look at that, right?
Yeah, so and you want to see those, and this year in a stretch right now where it's been the opposite, and he didn't live up to the one. He threw a late interception when all they needed was a field goal at the end of the game on the road in Denver. But it's with Jordan Love, this is the right thing. Like, Matt LaFleur has to play that game, and of course we're confident in Jordan Love. He's our quarterback. You're not going anywhere else this season. That would be a disservice to the franchise.
The whole franchise.
The decision that they made to punt Aaron Rodgers away and all right, we're done with your ish overall. You have to give Jordan Love this whole season, and then go into the offseason and address, do we need to bring a little pressure on Jordan Love? Do we need a veteran, or are we going to go with him?
No, you 100% need to come out of the season with a direction. Yeah. Either he's our dude or he's not our dude. And that's why you got to play him every game he can play. No, I agree with that. There's no benching him and going, I don't even know who's behind him. I mean, I'll tell you, I can find it out. I mean,
Sean Clifford.
Oh, of course. How can I mean, Sean Clifford. The big red dog?
Yeah.
What? Sean
If you had that option, man, talk about a tush push. Set height, go.
And those of you going, Sean Clifford, rookie, 5th round pick, Penn State. Yeah, that's your option. So nobody's calling for the backup there. Nobody is. All right, when we come back, it's game day. Game day. Did you look at your season ticket? Oh, tonight, the 26th of October, it's Lobo basketball. Lobo Hoops tonight in the pit. Open it up. Get your first look at this year's really hyped team. Take a look at that, what tonight's all about when we return. Lobo basketball in the pit. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
it's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
Scoops and alley-oops. Lobo basketball on the court tonight's gonna look a little different.
Look a lot different, huh?
Opportunity. Big man back in the middle. Could he play? It's possible. Rich Pitino said that, just depending on how Nelly Jr. Joseph feels, that he'll get him on the court if he's comfortable. Was back at practice yesterday for the first time. Practice. We're talking about practice.
Yeah, it's a big deal, though. Carl just said, whoa, Nelly, there's no reason to breeze him tonight, right, Jeff? I don't know. I mean, why not? I mean, why not?
Probably not going to be extended minutes. He still gets accustomed to the altitude, but they want him on the court. Got to get ready to play basketball, and he needs a few basketball minutes.
I think you'll see him for a little bit. I think just to get him on the court, I don't think you'll see him a lot. They play Colorado State Pueblo tonight, 7:00 in the pit, first exhibition game for this new look Lobo basketball team, ready to you'll get your first look. Man, people are so fired up about this team. And you'll see. I think you'll see Nelly. You'll see Mustafa Umzil. You will not see Jalen House, which you said to me just during the break. It's interesting. Lower body injury, should be back within a week. I'm not too concerned about something like this early in the year, unless it's like a hamstring that's going to nag him for 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then maybe that's something you can be concerned. Depending what the lower body injury. I'm only left to assume because this is how they're reported. An ankle, if it's a high ankle, if it's a hamstring, those things kind of linger. If it's a tweak, if it's, I have no idea. So I'm not going to be too concerned because I don't see him in an exhibition game. I don't know. How bad should you feel about this?
You should only get worried if it lingers until the regular season. So it's just a wait and see with Jalen House, and that's what they're doing. They're taking the right approach. This is a little bit different. The fact, Nelly was back home and he was doing what he needed to do just to try to stay focused, stay on top of academics. But I don't know how much basketball he was playing. That's why getting him back at practice, Rich Pitino said yesterday, they're going to throw everything at him. And this dude has played 3 years of college basketball. He's experienced. He's played for his national team. So while he might not know every play call, like if they get him out on the floor for 10 minutes, that's what they want to do. They just want to get him playing ball.
Yeah. You will get looks at new guys. Isaac Mushila broke his hand in practice earlier this month, but he was back at practice Wednesday, had the cast removed, may be ready to go not tonight, but may be ready to go by the beginning of the season, which the season opener, by the way, November 6th. So that is a week from next Monday against Texas Southern. And the second game will be the 9th, a week after that, against St. Mary's on the road. But you'll get to see Jamal Baker, and you'll get to see Mustafa Umzil, and you'll get to see a lot of the guys that you really want to see. And Jamal Mashburn will play, and you get your first look at Lobo basketball. I think people are really pumped about this, and like you'll overreact. They didn't win by 50; they only won by 27, or whatever. Relax. Just go out and have fun tonight. That's what tonight's about. Just get your first look. Richard Pitino gets to run them out in the pit. There'll probably be, 10, 12,000 people there. 10, 11,000 people tonight. Wouldn't you expect that? Thursday night, pit. Everybody's fired up. I don't know. What are you thinking?
8.
Okay. Still a pretty damn good crowd.
Absolutely.
For Colorado State Pueblo in there? Yeah. What do you want to see tonight? You want to see rotations? You just want to see dudes? You just want to see hoop? What do you want to see?
Just dudes hooping. You're not getting that detailed in an exhibition game.
No, of course not. Of course not. And you're not going to lose.
You're still able to control things. Like I don't know if there's going to be any, hey, we're going to do this for X amount of time like we've seen in other games. Like this past Sunday, the women, they're like, hey, in the second quarter, we're both going to play zone defense.
Yeah.
Just things like that you can do in an exhibition game.
Were you at Richard's press conference yesterday? Did you go to that?
Yes.
All right. What was the main message there? I'm sure a lot of it was about getting Nelly here. And what did he talk about with the process of that?
That he learned a lot about Nigeria and some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes there. But they got him back in time. And the one thing with Nelly Junior Joseph, he played basketball in the summer. He played for the Nigerian national team. He's an experienced player. And that's one of the things Richard talked about is the fact that, they brought in Isaac Mushila, who played in the NCAA tournament last year. Jamal Baker has had to taste that throughout his extended college career. Nelly Junior Joseph has played postseason basketball. So adding experience to this team of knowing what it takes to get to where they want to go. And that is the NCAA tournament.
All right, if you want to get it, are you going to Lobo basketball tonight? Are you fired up about it? Are you staying home and you got to watch that big Buffalo Buccaneer game? Maybe that's your thing. And if that's your thing,
football on your phone, Jeff.
Look, man, you get it everywhere you want. I got it last night. I watched UTEP come back. Did you see them celebrate after beating Sam Houston on a last-second field goal, holding off 0-8 Sam Houston last night to keep their bowl hopes alive on Wednesday night?
Enjoy it.
Yep. UTEP
Winning is fun.
Winning is fun.
Don't forget that.
That's. I was reminded of that last night watching that. I like Dana Dimmel a lot. Like, he's one of the most likable guys, period. He's the UTEP coach. They held off Sam Houston, and Sam Houston was up on him most of the night. They won 37-34 on a field goal with 5 seconds to go. And Dana Dimmel was pumped. They got to 3-6 overall, did UTEP 2-3 in conference play, and he was pumped. They won a road game. Winning is fun. Can UTEP get to 6? They got Western Kentucky middle, and there's no way, right? They got Liberty to end it. They can't win all those, right? They're probably not in. But it was a big deal. Otherwhere in the Conference USA, Jacksonville State beat Florida International. So I got a little clarification yesterday on bowl scenarios on Jacksonville State and on James Madison. And JJ, they're both transitioning up. I was told it was a legacy rule that the NCAA doesn't budge on, and it's not supposed to be easy to transition up. Whatever. If there are not enough bowl eligible teams, 6-6 or better, then from what I understand, Jacksonville State and or James Madison would be in bowls. They would go in certainly before a 6-7. New Mexico State New Mexico State needs to win at least one more. But that's what I learned yesterday on the bowl front. All right, when we come back, Global Football is going to be in Reno this weekend to take on Nevada. Andrew Henry had a heck of a week last week for New Mexico. The running back will be with us and talk to him about how they put together a little bit of a streak here. Global Football and Andrew Henry next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Back at it for Lobo football on the road Saturday. They're going to Reno. 8:30 out on the Pacific time zone. 7:30, no, the other way. 7:30 there, 8:30 here. 7:30 Pacific time zone, 8:30 here. And they'll look to string a couple of wins together, as the Lobos are coming off a big win over Hawaii, and now they get Nevada. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Lobos ran the ball well. They threw the ball well last week. Andrew Henry had a big game for New Mexico. 13 carries, 114 yards in his first Lobo touchdown last week. 3 catches for 27 yards. Coming off a big week, and joining us here on the opening drive on the Sports Animal is Andrew Henry. How you living, Andrew?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you spending some time with us. All right, we hear from coaches a lot, and I know you're looking forward and not looking back, but I asked Coach Gonzalez the other day about validation. You guys are working your backsides off. You get yelled at. You're sweating. Everything that you go through. It almost felt like as a group you needed a win like that on Saturday. As the players, how important was that win for you guys?
I mean, like you said, we're all human. Like, we can all sit here and say, the scoreboard doesn't matter. We can say the wins don't matter. We're just going to go for it for the next game. But, it's always good, having a win, especially for the next week, especially in the time period we are, even coming up with us. If we go get a win, we'll be 4-4, we'll be even. So, it feels a little better coming back to practice on Sunday after the game and watching film when you got a win. And it makes it feel better when you run extra hard, when you're winning and lifting. So it makes doing all the little things, a little better. It makes it worth it because sometimes, you kind of forget, the feeling. And when you get that feeling again, it makes it okay, I can watch a couple more hours of film. I can stay after, just to get that again. So I feel like emotionally, it was good for us. We all needed that. We all feel good when we've been practicing real hard this week, and it's because we want to keep that feeling.
Yeah, there's a payoff for all the hard work. And for you personally, you came over here from Louisiana Monroe, and I probably maybe expected to be the guy and then realized, wow, there's a talented running back room here. Had some injuries and had to fight a little bit for playing time. Boy, you had a coming out party. For you personally, that had to be a big day on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course it was a blessing, but I think what makes it the biggest thing is the way we won as a team. I'm just happy that I was able to be a spark for everyone else, So just seeing the defense and guys like Jay Lou, guys like that, go out there and play a really great game. Or even Dylan Hopkins going 80% at quarterback. It's a blessing to know that, just being out there, I can bring a little spark for the guys. So it's cool.
Andrew, you mentioned coming back, going back to work that Sunday after a game. When did you know that this group had that response in them? When you guys, everyone talked about it, you had to learn and move on from that second half against San Jose State. At what point did you know, though, when you looked at that locker room and said, "Hey, we are going to respond. We are going to show something against Hawaii"?
I mean, like I said, it's something we've been working on since we all got here in the springtime, which is facing adversity, and we all expecting adversity. It's just, when adversity happens and you really got to keep going. Some people, they talk it, but they don't really walk the walk. But I think here, we're really walking it. So, yeah, you look past a lot of stuff, it hasn't been going the way how we want it to be going. But you know, we just wake up the next day and work. So we could have lost and we still would have woke up and worked because it's a different type of drive. You know, it's a different want to we got around here. And our coaches, you know, Coach Vincent holds our offense at a high level that we're just going to go out there and work. So, and if it didn't work yesterday, we're going to wake up and we're going to try harder tomorrow.
Andrew Henry, Lobo.
The situation could have went, we would have went out there hard.
Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to jump on you like that. Andrew Henry, the Lobo running back. The Hawaii defenders couldn't get all over him, but I could. He's with us on the Sports Animal.
You mentioned Coach Vincent and what he has brought offensively this season. What is the presence of Vincent and someone like Dylan Hopkins? Those guys understand the offense so well, able to get you guys the ball where you need it, get in the positions you need to be. What's it been like growing in this offense?
I mean, I think it's like the biggest blessing, you know, being over Coach Vincent. Coach Vincent definitely like puts us in situations so where he highlights our skills, and we also in practice, you know, the things that we're not good at, he forces us to become good at it. So even the things that we're not good at, our weakness becomes our strengths, and you know, our strengths is just gets even better. And his mindset is just like, even if you have a bad play or even just bigger than life, if you have someone knows go around, you know, just next play, you know, it's second and 10 now, you still got to go. So him just bringing that cut edge, you know, that sharp edge for us is just contagious. And every day that I get here, every day I see another person actually buying in like deeply to it. It is just, you know, we expect it to be peaking right this at this time, and we're just going to hold it. So I feel like right now we're only going to get better, and then we're going to get to the top of the hill. We're just going to stay.
Andrew, I want to talk about the transfer process and being here. You came over from Louisiana Monroe. You played junior college ball at Fort Scott in Kansas. And you said a number of times already, I'm blessed. And you're talking to guys like you, Bill, the guys from Alabama State. They came in, there's an appreciation here. And understanding you're not at Alabama, you don't have the Michigan locker room and all the amenities, but it feels like there's an appreciation from some of the guys that transferred from other programs going, you know what, it is pretty good here. We do have it. The coaches care. The facilities are pretty good. We're getting your perspective on transferring from Louisiana Monroe to here and what this place has been like for you.
I mean, I feel like when I came on my visit now this year, just first of all, like, coaching staff's amazing. I love all the guys, and I feel like winning is a big part of it. And honestly, that's why we play the game. But also bigger than winning is family and the faith here. So it's more family ties. And also when I came here, I feel like New Mexico has just as good as facilities as anywhere in the country. Only thing he was missing was a couple playmakers, and now we're here. So I feel like there's nothing that's not here in New Mexico.
All right, you got playmakers. He's Andrew Henry, Lobo running back. You got. I know there's an opportunity for you guys in front of you. You're looking at there were some disappointments early. Why does this team feel like you're going to go on a run, win at Nevada, and accomplish your goals for the season?
I mean, like, I feel like everyone in this conference is the same. It's whoever plays the best that night, and we're just gonna. We've made a decision in our head that we're gonna show up every day with our hardest. That's even in the weight room to practice. So the game is just easy. We're gonna go out there and give our all. And if we give our all, we feel like there's no one that can beat us. We can go on a run and finish out without losing anymore if we just go out there and play our game. Focus on us every week and do what we got to do. You know, we'll be at a bowl game somewhere.
Andrew, Dallas, Texas kid, you played at Allen High School. What in the world is Texas high school football like? When you Google Allen High School, like, wait a second, some of these crowds could be bigger than some of the crowds you played in college, man. What is that experience like?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Texas football, that's almost like a religion down there. You feel me? You everyone's doing that. But I think that's a blessing even now to this day. I feel like the big crowds and stuff like that, big moments, you know, I'm not really shied away from. I'm really missing them. I'm waiting to be back in a situation like that, and that feels more like home. So I'm excited for the football to be going and getting back to, you know, packed crowds, feeling like those Friday nights again. So I'm excited. Football's starting to feel like that again out here for me. So it's cool.
It's a big deal. Hey, does competition make you better? I asked you that because I don't know what you expected when you came here. I remember seeing when you signed, and it was a big deal, and they got this stud running back who's coming over from Louisiana Monroe, played 23 games last year, and all the stats. And then I think you got here and realized, dang, there's some good running backs here. Sherrod's good, Christian Washington's good, Bill became what he is. You got a really, really talented running back room. Has the competition made you better, and how did you grasp that when you got here?
I mean, yeah, definitely, because it's bigger than just running the ball at this point. I mean, like, everyone can run the ball, put in spots and stuff like without the ball in your hands, pass pro and throwing a game, and just, you know, every day you got to give your all. If you're not giving your all, somebody else is. So I feel like we push each other. You know, we're high-popping each other. We're scoring, even in, like, fall camp and stuff like that. You know, one of us break a big run, the next one would too, but it was about the little details. So I think it has made me understand the detail of the thing and actually understanding the game and getting a bigger aspect on, like, you know, a lot of people can run the ball, a lot of people can do this, but not everyone can do that every day. When they're tired or when they're not feeling the best, can you do it? Can you still be who you are?
Never mind football. How's New Mexico been to you? Texas kid, went to community college in Kansas. I know everybody talks about it. It's a different world in New Mexico, right? How's New Mexico been to you?
Honestly, been there has been cool. You know, I've been a few places, you know, in my college, but like New Mexico, I think it's beautiful. I think like the way the sun rises, the sun sets. I think the mountains are really cool. Like I'm still not getting used to seeing mountains every day. Like me being in Texas and Louisiana and Kansas, like seeing mountains all the time. It's kind of different. You know, festival. Like so, I think it's wonderful. You know, great family environment out here. I love the people. You know, everyone's a level out here, so that's real cool going around and seeing how excited everyone is about it. My little brother and sister go to school out here, so it's cool to, you know, their teachers are asking about me, and like, and everyone, their friends and stuff are excited about the team, and it's a cool environment to be a part of. I can't wait to win for the city.
So, Andrew, was it football only growing up? Did you play any other sports?
I played football, basketball, ran track, played a little bit of baseball. I mean, I was active. I was doing whatever had a win column in it, I wanted to do it.
So that means everything, right? I mean, you get competitive with everything, board games, everything.
Tic-tac-toe, anything I'm trying to win.
What are you best at? Is football what you're best at?
Yeah, I think football was always it. You know, I used to lie to myself in high school and say that I could go play, in the NBA and basketball, but football was always it right there for me.
Is that we've talked to a couple other guys, man. We even had your center on, C.J. James. I said he got cut from his high school basketball team and realized, yeah, man, football is just my thing. But is basketball the sport you guys always kind of look at and say, yeah, I could do that. I could probably cross some people up?
Nah, definitely, because I feel like it's like, you know, like football makes somebody miss, like, you know, cross somebody up, same thing. You get to the bucket. I gotta say.
So are you a Mavericks guy?
Am I a Mavericks guy? I am not back home in Dallas no more. I'm diehard. Anything Dallas, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Now that I'm out
here. So did you root for SMU in the bowl game last year when they were here played BYU? Is that part of it? Dallas all over.
Dallas. See, I was a Warhawk then. I was.
That's right. That's right. You weren't even here.
Yeah. I wasn't even worried about that.
Yeah, you weren't even here. All right. Have fun, man. Keep it going. It feels like it was a coming out party, and I know you probably feel that way, right? I mean,
yes, sir.
How were reps in practice this week? Everything good?
Oh yeah, it felt good. You know, I'm out there rolling. Like not that I'm back healthy, I'm rolling, and like I said, like we're peaking. The other guys peaking. I just been watching and waiting for my turn. So I'm not gonna let up. You know, when you put your foot on somebody, like you keep it there, you keep going. So I plan on for the rest of my time with me as Lobo, I'm not gonna let up. I plan on just getting better every week, and my coaches aren't gonna allow that either. Even this week in practice, they said that, you know, mediocrity or, you know, complacency will not be accepted. It's either you're getting better or you're getting worse. So what I did last week was cool, and that was a blessing. But I expect to do better every week.
How do you play in the cold? It might be chilly up there. Like high mid-30s.
I got here in the spring in January, and this was the coldest place I've ever been. And it was like -5 out here in New Mexico. Coach G had us in shorts and T-shirts.
Yeah.
We got to get ready for this. So honestly, it's crazy that he used to tell us in the spring, like, you know, when it's time to win games, you're going to have to win games. And
it's going to be cold in this league,
We've been doing this for a long time. I done got used to it. Now I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And he's wearing shorts the whole stinking time.
Yeah,
I know.
the whole time.
I know.
And once you score touchdowns, you're not caring about the temperature.
That's right. It feels good. Everything's warm. Safe travels up there, man. Great game last week. Keep it rolling. Really appreciate the conversation.
Oh, yeah, anytime. Thank you.
Be well. Andrew Henry. Yeah, they're going to, it's a kickoff in the low 40s, going to get down into what they're saying, the low 30s by the time they're done.
That's cold.
We have this thing around here, I tell people, we got this thing called winter where this white stuff falls out of the sky. It's the craziest thing, right? Yeah, it's going to be a little chilly.
It'll get chilly in Reno.
Yeah. Danny, I think you have to put on pants, right, to coach on this. Like, can you coach in shorts?
I don't think I've ever seen a head coach.
I don't know.
Regular season game.
I don't know that I have either. All right, you can respond to that, and then Jerry Palm's going to be with us. Looking forward to having a conversation with him as we get into the final weekend of October. CBS Sports guru Jerry Palm's joining us at 8:30 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Appreciate it. Andrew Henry being with us. Good conversation. JJ just said the conversations the last bunch of weeks have been really good with the players. They have Keyshawn Elliott's going to be with us tomorrow. He is New Mexico State's leading tackler. Had the big hit in the win on Tuesday night. He jarred the ball loose from quarterback Bachmeier on the second to last drive, and I thought that was the biggest play of the game, to be honest with you. But I thought he was big against New Mexico, and so we'll talk to.
I love talking to players.
I do too.
Just know who they are.
Yeah, I do too. All right, 505-246-0610. We'll talk college football coming up at the bottom of the hour. That's 8:30 with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. Dan says Jeffrey Juan Jose and Dwayne Kuhn. I don't know that one. SDSU puts women's soccer out of their misery tonight, right? Then Friday's OD's discussion is on whether Dyke has earned the right to have a bad season. None of that's right. What are we doing playing the tournament in Laradice? Are you really asking should Heather Dyke be retained because they might have a down season? There's no conversation. With all due respect, Dan. She is the most. How'd you say this to me the other day? She is the most accomplished person in soccer in the city, pro or college, right? At the international level. She is a great recruiter. She is a terrific coach. She is an insanely wonderful person. She is an ambassador for this program. She has turned down bigger jobs to stay here. And if they get beat tonight in San Diego and don't make the conference tournament, there is zero conversation on whether or not she has earned the right to have a down season. Zero. I mean, like, of all the issues you got over there,
that's not one of them.
She ain't one of them. You got 99 problems.
Soccer coach ain't one.
She ain't one. Like no, Dan. No. Now, does SDSU put them out of their misery tonight, as you say? If they beat them tonight, then they probably don't make then they're done, right?
Yes, they're done.
Okay.
Like they have to win and get a little bit of help.
By the way, why are we playing in Laramie? That's a whole nother conversation. Why? Because that's the way the conference does it. And he sent me a weather report, and it's they got something called winter. And when would it be? Next week?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's what you earn when you win a regular season title. And there was a 3-way tie, and the tiebreakers went to Wyoming last year, and they get to host it. And it will possibility that they play the game indoors.
Yep.
And fans will be disappointed, but there you go.
Rod's banging the drum that there's too many bowls. The answer is don't watch them. But Jefferson, when you're talking about a 6-7 NMSU, Jacksonville State, or the Fighting Stigwoods, the problem isn't enough teams. The problem is there are too many bowls. So Jacksonville State is 7-2. The Fighting Stigwoods, as you call them, James Madison is ranked 25th in the country, and they are 7-0. Who they beat, Jeff? Well, they beat Virginia out of the mighty ACC. They beat Utah State out of the mighty Mountain West Conference. They've beaten everybody on their schedule. Why? This is another one of those cases that just because you don't know about them doesn't mean they're not good. James Madison, like for you to say there's too many bowls if we're talking about a 25th ranked 7-0 James Madison being in a bowl game. Rod, with all due respect, you're wrong, and just the answer is don't watch. But Jacksonville State is 7-2. James Madison is 7-0. They may win the Sun Belt Conference. You don't think they should be in because you don't know who they are? Now, 6-7 New Mexico State, we have a conversation.
I don't know who the Fighting Stigatrons are.
Right. If New Mexico State is 6-7, we have a conversation. Now, if they're 7-6 or 8-5 or 9-4 or whatever, did I do my math right? Or 10-3, we have no conversation. But no, the answer isn't there's too many balls. The answer is don't watch them. But again, I'll tell you, and you'll look at the numbers again, and they'll prove it out again this year as they did last year, as they did the year before, as they did the year before. It is the most watched couple of weeks on ESPN on a yearly basis, and people watch them, and student athletes go and have a wonderful experience, and the cities thrive. And if it's not your thing, man, that's cool. Hit the soccer or the hockey or whatever it is you like, man. It's like anything else, man. There's Lion King. It's not for everybody. Some people love the fact that there's a Broadway play in town this week. Go watch it.
Yes.
Some people like that there's a bowl game. Go watch it. And if it's not your thing, then that's it. But Rod, you're wrong. The fact that we're talking about a 7-2 Jacksonville State or a 7-0 James Madison, and you say there's too many bowls if we're talking about them, why?
Move on!
Well, all right, I'll move on. Want to talk about college football when we get back? Jerry Palm is the guru over at CBS Sports. I read him every day. I'm going to guess you do too. He's going to join us, and we're going to look at some of the big matchups and see what he knows about this Michigan situation, which is getting hairier and uglier by the hour. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Gonna miss it when it's gone, but you get Maction and Fun Belt next week. November starts the Maction on the weekdays. Conference USA did it. Aggies won 4 in a row. First time since 2002. New Mexico State has won 4 in a row with their victory 27-24 at Louisiana Tech. They are 6-3, 1 game away from bowl eligibility as they play 13. Lobos back on the road this weekend, trying to string a couple wins together after their win over Hawaii. They will be in Reno, 8:30 local time, kickoff over on News Radio KKOB against the Pack, who broke their 16-game losing streak in San Diego last week. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. And about this time each week, we are honored to be graced with the presence of Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. You read him every day over there. He joins us on the Sports Animal. Good day, Jerry Palm. How you living?
I'm all right. How are you?
All right. Interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff. Hey, before we hit games, can I hit you on 2 topics? Is that all right?
You can hit me on anything you want.
Beautiful. What are you thinking of what you're hearing of Washington State and Oregon State and trying to kind of last for a couple of years with some sort of scheduling alliance with the Mountain West? What's the latest you're hearing on that?
Well, basically that's the plan, is that they want to try and salvage the Pac-12, name and brand, and there's money involved with that because the Pac-12 has, assets, and they have incoming assets in the form of NCAA, tournament units and things like that. So, and have a big debt to pay off as well for Comcast. So I think it's important, to them and for them to try and maintain that. So it's no surprise that that's going to get every effort possible. And of course, they're trying not to split any incoming money with the 38 other members that are leaving. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 10.
What would that mean for basketball? Because don't you have to be at least 7 members to be a conference that gets an automatic qualifying spot in the tournament, right?
You have a 2-year grace period to get to 8.
You have a 2-year grace period. So one of them would win the league and get an automatic. That's beautiful.
I guess. Yes.
All right.
I guess that's how it would work. If that's, unless the NCAA does something otherwise in the meantime, but the wheels of NCAA move pretty slow.
Yeah. All right. The other thing, and the wheels on this move quickly. It feels like every hour something's coming out of the Michigan thing. I mean, it's innocent until presumed guilty, but man, there's a lot of dirt on this sign stealing thing. And I don't know how anybody, even if you're wearing maize and blue, look at it and say, yeah, they didn't do it.
Oh, no. I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, they made no effort to cover it up. you know, it's just that nobody had discovered it. But anybody who had wanted to look for it or even was accidentally looking around for stuff would come across it. I mean, really, it was that brazen. So yeah, that's a thing that's not going away anytime soon. But you know, as we just said, the NCAA wheels move slowly. Nothing is going to happen to this Michigan team unless the Big Ten gets involved.
How big of a deal is it?
Going to do anything about them for, I don't know, maybe they'll make them ineligible for the postseason in 2030 or something.
Or strip their title or something. How big of a deal is it? How big of a deal is this? Because I hear a lot of people going, well, whatever.
I mean, it's funny. Deion Sanders' comment on sign stealing. I think Aaron Rodgers said something similar. I pay no attention to him if I can. Deion said something about, you could mail me the game plan. I still have to be able to execute. And he actually compared it to baseball because he played both sports, of course. And he said, if you tell me a curveball's coming, that's a huge advantage. If your players are all better than mine and you tell me what you're going to do, I probably still can't.
Right.
You still have to be able to execute. So I don't know how much of an advantage it really is. I suppose you look for every advantage you can. The sign stealing thing, is not what's against the rules here. It's the off-site scouting. That's where they,
the way they did it, right?
And did it. Yeah, it's the way they did it. Not that they did it. It's the way they did it. That's against the rules. And I think Harbaugh just doesn't care. And he says he didn't know. There's no way you can't know. And even if you didn't know, if they actually hid it from him, which would be surprising, then it's still your job to know. And the NCAA no longer cares about head coaches who say you didn't know. All right, they've explicitly said head coaches are responsible for anything that happens in their program. So you're supposed to know. And Harbaugh's just coming off a 3-game suspension for an equally stupid infraction, and the problem with that was not the infraction, but the fact that he lied to investigators about it.
Yeah.
And it's just this casual disregard for the rules, and not huge, going to get your program thrown in the clink kind of rules, but just stuff like this. Stupid. There's no reason for this. Yeah. It is just a stupid thing to do. It's a stupid rule to break. But Michigan doesn't care, and that comes from Harbaugh.
He's Jerry Palm. CBS Sports is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Jerry, in your college football playoff rankings prediction post, you did have Michigan number 1, followed by Ohio State, Florida State, and Washington. Just how good is this Michigan's team?
Outstanding. I mean, it's hard to say because they haven't played a really good team yet, and their schedule to this point is not very good. And the Georgia fans have been giving me a lot of crap because they, that's what they say. I mean, Michigan's schedule, there's no way they'd be number 1. If it was only your schedule, that's absolutely correct. However, the lowest ranked schedule among those top 6 teams is Georgia, which ranked around 120 right now, even with Kentucky on it. Because Kentucky's the only team they've played that's won, I think, more than 2 games. And they played UT Martin, FCS teams this year. Instead of a good non-conference game, they played Tennessee Martin. So their schedule is way down. Michigan's schedule is in the 70s in the rankings. But they have obliterated every team they played. Just obliterated them. And it's funny because their defense has yet to take the field or be on the field and face a goal-to-go situation from the other team's offense.
Insane.
In fact, Indiana's the only team to get the ball to the 10-yard line, but when they got it to the 10, it was 2nd and 6. And then they went backwards and settled, or turned it over or something stupid because they had 7 points in the game, so they didn't score there. Right. So that's how good they've been, and that's why I had them number 1, because that level of dominance, even against that schedule, is hard to ignore.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, with us here on The Sports Animal. We saw Washington Pac-12 After Dark somehow, some way survive, maybe a little help, but they get that win. And you talked about the Pac-12. You think that ultimately they're going to beat each other up, but we didn't think it was going to be Arizona State making that push on one of those teams.
Yeah, and actually they've played a little better of late. Arizona State, it's like they're on the cusp of getting that first win. In fact, I think I picked them as the upset of the week this week because they have Washington State, if I remember correctly, at Arizona State this week, and they just feel like they're getting the right opponent at the right time, and they're going to get a win here somewhere. And they caught Washington at a good time as well. So, that's definitely the timing of these games matters, and we see that pretty much every week. Great performance by Arizona State. I stayed up and watched that whole thing, and I stayed for that the next day. But it's a really good performance for them. I'm not worried about Washington. I would have worried about them if they lost because that really matters, but everybody seems to have a clunker now and then, except, I guess, Michigan.
All right, then you get Oregon now going to Utah. Utah's coming off the last second win of the Coliseum, a big win. SC's lost 2 in a row, so they're out of the title picture. And now here goes Utah and Oregon, which is the latest, biggest game of the year in the Pac-12.
Yeah. I mean, it's one every week at least, right? Oregon's going to have their hands on it. And Oregon is, remember 2 years ago when they played there, they kept kicking to – forget the name of their kick returner back then, but it was a great kick return. Paid for it right before halftime, and the game blew up on them. Oregon is going to be focused. Utah's really good defensively, especially. I kind of worry about their quarterback, but they're 6-1 with this guy playing quarterback, so he must be doing something right.
Yeah, well, we can stop saying Cam Rising isn't coming back because he's not coming back. I mean, this is who they are.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I don't know that they can hold off Oregon because, unlike USC, Oregon plays defense too. And I just think that Oregon's got too much firepower. They're going to get enough points, but I think more importantly, they're going to hold Utah. Utah's not scoring 30 against Oregon, not with that offense. I mean, their offense is good. Don't get me wrong; they're not terrible, but they're not scoring 30 on Oregon with just their offense. They're going to need their defense to score, special teams to score, something to happen that they're going to keep up with the Oregon offense.
JJ and I were just looking at Colorado, and they get UCLA this week. They are probably going to rue that Stanford game, aren't they? Are they going to get bowl eligible, do you think?
No question. Yeah, I mean, they may not make a bowl because of that game.
Right.
That's their bowl eligibility. If you look at the games that they have left and where they're favored.
5 tough ones,
they
man.
project to 5 and 7.
Yep. They may get...
5 and 7 teams might get in, but I don't think Colorado's going to be one of them, so... Yeah, they need to find something somewhere that they need to get a win over somebody that they're not supposed to beat, and this might be their best chance.
UCLA, they get UCLA on the road, then they get Oregon State and Arizona at home, and then they finish at Washington State, and it could be chilly, and it will be chilly in Utah against a really good Utah team who might be playing for a whole lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now, they're going to need to find a way to win one of those games at least. Actually, probably 2, right?
They need 2. Yeah, they're 4-3 right now, but they've got to win 2 more.
If they get Arizona at home,
they get Arizona at home.
That's probably the only game that left that they might be favored in.
Yeah. All right. One last thing. We didn't touch on last week's biggest game of the year: Oregon State, Penn State. Penn State's offense really just hurts them, doesn't it? I thought this was the year. I thought they might be able to go in and get them this year. Ohio State's defense is really good. Who's better, Ohio State or Michigan?
Michigan. Because Michigan just, like I said, Michigan obliterates you on both sides of the ball. They bleed you to death with their offense, and they stifle you with their defense. Ohio State is a little more proven in the sense that they've won at Notre Dame, and now they've beaten Penn State. Michigan doesn't have a win like that. But Ohio State has also had decent performances, but they haven't, the games that they've won other than those 2, which you don't expect big wins there, they haven't, like they beat Indiana 23-7. Michigan's going to beat them 50-something. In fact, they did. Yeah. So, I didn't really trust either Ohio State's quarterback or Penn State's quarterback, certainly not compared to J.J. McCarthy at Michigan. That's why I picked Michigan at the beginning of the year, because you're talking about 2 first-time quarterbacks on Ohio State and Penn State, and an experienced quarterback at Michigan. And I think that's really the biggest difference. But also, Michigan's better defensively than Ohio State, even though Ohio State is a pretty good defensive team.
Yeah. All right, enjoy it. Where are you going this week?
I am staying home.
Attaboy. All right, enjoy home. Home is good. We'll catch up with you next Thursday. Read him every day. Over on CBSSports.com. Follow him on the X. It is at JPPalmCBS. Always appreciate the conversation, my friend. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks.
Be well. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports. There's a lot in there. And I thought the beginning was a lot of meat. In the 2 years that you have to get back up, so Oregon State and Washington State can buy themselves a couple of years of two-team conference, and still their champion goes to the NCAA tournament. I thought that was interesting. A lot of meat in there. You can get into that. We'll do Red Zone NFL at the top of the hour, which will be 9 o'clock. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal, you're home for Sunday night and Monday night, and even tonight football.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop.
This is Andrew Henry. The Lobo running back was with us. Or if you want to hear it again, you want to share it with a friend. I thought he was terrific. And I know I say that about so many of the student athletes who join us. I enjoy talking to the student athletes so much. Not that I don't like talking to the coaches. The student athletes bring a different rawness and it's just a different story. Each one of them's got a different story and a different perspective. It's available wherever you get your podcasts. Just put in Opening Drive or go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com, click on Opening Drive, and it's all there for you. Jerry from today will be there, Andrew Henry, Sebastian Noel from yesterday, Danny Gonzalez from from Monday. Tomorrow, Keyshawn Elliott, Aggies defensive stud, is going to be with us as they are 6-3 and on the cusp of bowl eligibility. So one of the things Jerry Palm just talked about, and the Athletic reported it yesterday, Oregon State and Washington State are the two teams left in the Pac-12, the two-pack. And there's been a lot of conversation about some sort of merger with the Mountain West, and then you heard about a potential scheduling alliance for a couple of years. Those two schools filed a motion for a preliminary injunction to gain control of the Pac-12 board. Basically, what does that mean? They want control of the Pac-12's assets. And they're basically saying, we're the only two left, man. Why should Stanford and Cal and UCLA and Oregon, like they're out, man? 7 other Pac-12 teams have since announced plans to leave after. I mean, everybody's gone. Ross Dellinger of Yahoo reported that Oregon State and Washington State believe the outgoing 10 Pac-12 schools will dissolve the league and redistribute the millions of Pac-12 assets. The 10 have no allegiance to the Pac-12. Well, sure, they're going to do that if they can. And so what Washington State and Oregon State are trying to do, and that's what this lawsuit's about, is, hey, we're still here. We're still the Pac-12. We, the remaining schools, the two of us,
just the two of us,
control the assets and the debt.
We can make it.
Just the two of us. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to watch this. And what it means for you in the Mountain West as far as scheduling, football, basketball. How would
how do you get to Pullman? Where do you have to go?
You can fly into Lewiston or into Moscow or Spokane and drive.
Okay.
I mean, Moscow's 7 miles away. Lewiston's a short drive. Spokane's 45 minutes. Are you going? Or you're going to Gonzaga? You're going to Spokane.
We're going to, yeah.
Is that game at the Kennel on campus?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like Spokane.
Gonzaga.
Dude, JJ's got a trip. The ladies, the voice of Lobos here, they play at Pepperdine. He's never been to Pepperdine. You ever been there? That campus is you're not coming home.
Transferring to Pepperdine.
Like, as far as beautiful campuses and a beautiful spot on
You guys
Earth.
need a voice? All right, here we go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Got my first ticket coming back from playing a tournament at Pepperdine when I was 16. Made a basketball tournament there. All right, we'll go Red Zone, hit some NFL stuff. Sam Darnold, huh? And the Bengals? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610 Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and tonight football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships.
I should know this, and I don't.
I'm like,
CSU Pueblo will be in the pit, 7 o'clock. You'll get a look at that. You can listen to it over on News Radio KKB if you're not out there. You also get footy tonight, National Football League, Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, and D.C. All right, you put together a little red zone. We might as well go into the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, well, we heard about the Brock Star in the concussion protocol, so let's talk about his backup. Since 2018, Sam Darnold has started 60 games. In those 60 games, he has had 8 with 300-plus passing yards and 18 with more than one touchdown pass. So if Sam Darnold does, in fact, start this weekend, what is he going to have to do to end the 49ers' 2-game slide at home?
He's going to have to be confident and hand the ball to Christian McCaffrey. The Cincinnati Bengals are bottom 4 rushing defense in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey, what is it now, 16 straight games with a touchdown, and he wasn't good against Minnesota. They could not get the run game going against the Vikings. They were held to just 45 yards. Christian McCaffrey had a fumble. That's where it starts, is with Christian McCaffrey. But Sam Darnold just has to go out there and be confident. There's enough weapons in this offense that they don't need to hide Sam Darnold. They don't need to do something different. It starts with CMC, and then he's got to be aggressive taking his shots downfield.
Yeah, don't turn the ball over and play within what they do. Get the ball to Brandon Ayuk when you can. Find your tight end, George Kittle. And remember that you're a number 1 or 2 overall draft pick and be confident. Yeah, everybody keeps telling me, well, it's a system. It's a system. Anybody can go into that system and play quarterback there. Right? That's why I keep hearing Brock Purdy is any good. I don't believe that. But be who you are. Be who you believe you are, and just you don't have to be spectacular. Bengals aren't going to put what's enough points to win this game? Bengals offense coming off a bye. Should 24 points be enough to win this game? All right, so go take what they give you. Give the ball to McCaffrey. Be smart with it. Just don't turn it over and don't try to do anything special.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
All right, so Cincy is in town in San Francisco this weekend. So what about the Bengals? We're ready to bury them after they started 1-2, but they've won 2 in a row to get back to 500. So Cincinnati has 6 potential playoff teams on their remaining schedule. That'd be the 49ers, Bills, Ravens, Jags, Chiefs, and Browns. Do you guys think the Bengals will make the playoffs this year? Why or why not?
So maybe, and I know that's not one of my options, but there's 4 teams who I think are in the playoffs in the AFC. I think the Ravens are going to win their division. I think the Dolphins and Bills are going to get in as much as the Bills are struggling right now. I think the Jaguars get in and out of the South, and the Chiefs are in. So that leaves 2 spots for the Jets, the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals. Who? The Chargers, the Texans. So it comes down to, I think, them, the Steelers, and the Browns, because I don't think the Jets are going to hold on. Yeah, they very. Do I trust their quarterback play more than I trust the Browns? I trust the Browns defense more. Yeah, there's a really good shot the Bengals find their way in. Do you trust them more than you trust the Steelers overall? Yeah, you probably do. Yeah, they may find their way back up.
While it is a difficult schedule, what you just laid out is, all right, they're competing against the other wildcard team. And Cincinnati, I would still trust them the rest of the way over the New York Jets. I would trust Cincinnati over the Houston Texans.
Chargers, Raiders?
Raiders not even in the conversation with me right now. As teams that are going to make
It's those
the
3 teams,
the Indianapolis
right?
Colts. With Gardner Minshew, they're going to have their fun, crazy games, but the consistent team should be the Cincinnati Bengals. And it starts this weekend. This is a game. Yeah, the San Francisco, all the talk. They're going to be focused. They just lost 2 games in a row. Well, you're with Joe Burrow. This should not be a shock that you can go in there and beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
3rd and goal.
During the preseason, we had the Buffalo Bills on the short list of the top teams in the NFL. The Bills looked excellent in Week 4 when they dominated the seemingly unstoppable Miami Dolphins, but since then, not so much. What do you need to see from Josh Allen and the Bills tonight to confidently say that they are still Super Bowl contenders?
Defense. I don't think beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to get anyone to go, yeah, the Buffalo Bills are back. But if they let Baker Mayfield look like Mac Jones, it's just going to continue to get worse because that team can still flash with the best of them. That's why I'm not ready to say that they can't compete, because when you can do that to Miami and you still have that quarterback that can score if you go toe-to-toe with Kansas City, but to me, it's all about the defense. They have to be better defensively.
So I think this is going to be one of those Josh Allen games where you're going, oh, yeah, that's that dude. I do. I think usually when there's a lot of noise around him, he tends to have one of those games. This is a national telecast game. This is a standalone game. Everybody's watching. It feels to me like a Josh Allen get-right night. What does he got to do? First of all, don't turn the stinking ball over, okay? That's the biggest thing. And I think that's been drilled into his head. I think when we sit here tomorrow, we're going to go, oh, yeah, that's that dude. I still think they are, by the end of the season, one of the 3 best teams in the AFC.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, enough with the front runners. Let's talk about the middle of the pack. There are 10 3-win teams in the NFL right now. I want you guys to pick 1 or 2 if you're feeling confident. Then make a case why that team or those teams will make the playoffs.
Well, we just talked about Cincinnati, right? I think they've got a real chance. But I'll give you one we talked about earlier this week, too. Minnesota. I just where they are, and for that last playoff spot, when you look around, who are they competing with? Green Bay and Tampa Bay and the Rams and New Orleans. Minnesota, to me, I still think they're solid. I still think they get good quarterback play. Damn, their defense looked good last week. I mean, if you're looking for another 3-win team, I'll ride Minnesota a little bit.
Minnesota and the Los Angeles Rams be the teams in the NFC, because I think the Rams can be better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Rams are going to have their shot again at the Seattle Seahawks, who they beat in Week 1. And those 2 teams with veteran quarterbacks that can make plays down the field, that is how you can stay in games and find a way to compete. So of the 3-win teams, those are the 2 I like right now in the NFC.
All right. Who do you like? What's your 3-win team? I always ask you the last question, huh?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I was thinking about that. The veteran quarterback aspect is very important in my eyes, and that's why I'm with JJ. The Rams, they have excellent receivers. They have a good quarterback. They have a good defense.
They don't have a running game right now.
And that may
they
be
just
true.
pulled a guy off the street, man.
Well,
they don't have a running game right now?
Darrell Henderson. Are you convinced Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman are
those 2 combined?
Yeah.
Just put up over 130 yards on the Steelers.
On the Steelers, yeah. That's I don't trust it. I know I just went out and asked for Darrell Henderson, by the way, in my fantasy league. Not sure if I got him or not. But yeah, I hear you. I don't trust it. Not even sure why. But I'm skeptical like Ram guy, right? 135
yards, 4.4 yards per carry against the Steelers.
Yeah,
that's a running game.
Yeah, I'm probably skeptical Ram guy when it comes to that, though. No, honestly.
Right? Royce Freeman, 5.5 yards a pop.
Royce Freeman was on the practice squad, right? He was there. Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. You can get in on all of that. Anything Jerry Palm had to say. We got Lobo Hoops tonight. You're going to the pit tonight. You excited? You should be. I think tonight should be a really fun night out at University Arena. They used to call it Wise Pies Arena, a.k.a. the pit. A.k.a. They got rid of the AKA. It wasn't very popular around here, old DC. I mean, you know, you guys, DC and JJ, you know, acronyms and initials are a big deal, but AKA was not. Oh, no, that didn't work. By the way.
Well, yeah, I'm just not. I don't go around, what's your name? Joseph, a.k.a. JJ.
Derek Charles, a.k.a. D. Dante Carlito, a.k.a. DC. Yeah. You probably don't do that a lot, do you? Is that how that works? All right, when we come back, I got correspondence from you. I want to get you the latest on the NFL injury stuff. I got NBA stuff for you. We got, they're going to, what is a hybrid field in the NFL? What does that even mean? And why are they doing it? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.com.
We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own.
Corleone, you asked a couple of questions. I guess got people thinking about it, huh? Like, what 3-win teams do you think have a good shot at the playoffs? Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC, 505-246-0610. Barry, good morning.
With Zach Wilson, they almost beat him in the last game that they lost.
Well, they beat him in the opener.
That's when Mike White got his ribs broken in that game. It was a close game.
And they beat him in the opener.
Points.
They beat him in the opener this year.
Exactly. They got the best pass rush team defensively in the NFL.
All right. Good case.
Bryce Hall, who doesn't play that, because they rotate 10 linemen. Okay, so a lot of their linemen don't get a lot of snaps, but Bryce Hall has the highest pressure rate in the NFL, and he's going to get more snaps soon. He has a higher pressure rate than Michael Parsons or the Bosa Bros or you name it.
All right.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. New York Jets, Jets, Jets.
Thank you, Barry. Don't be a stranger. It's a great argument. Look, the only reason I didn't go with the Jets is I don't trust Zach Wilson. Everything he said is right, man. Their defense is spectacular. They've got playmakers. I just don't trust the quarterback. If you're asking me, do I trust Joe Burrow? Now, do I trust Cleveland's quarterback, P.J. Walker, or whatever they're going to run out there? Not sure I trust them either. And they got a great defense too. That's why I went
better
with
defense than the Jets.
Probably, yeah. It's all
The Jets got a good thing working. Just because we didn't pick the Jets,
yeah, doesn't mean I hate them.
Go out, yeah. Prove us wrong. I pick them over the Browns.
I do too.
In that scenario,
yeah, and that's why I went with the Bengals. Now it might come down to them, the Browns and the Steelers. Jets, Browns, Steelers for the final spot. They could. Robert, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, guys. Hey, regarding that, you were talking earlier about scheduling merger between the Washington State, Oregon State, and the Mountain West.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've mentioned this or you've talked about this before, but what worries me is they bide their time for 2 years, or whatever it is, getting the schedule aligned and allowing to play out. And then at that point, once the Mountain West buyouts are what do you call it, the null and void.
Yeah, once the grant of rights is expired.
They will then try to pick and choose who they want to bring into the Pac-12, and that could leave UNM, Hawaii, Nevada, and a few teams like that out in the cold, and that's something I really worry about.
I think that's a realistic fear, dude. I think that's a realistic fear. I think that's what some are pushing for, not all. I think that is something to be cautious of. I'm not telling you that's exactly what is going to happen, but I would not tell you it's absolutely not. I think that's a realistic fear.
Yeah, I hope there's something they can, Mountain West can stand strong and force their hand and it's an all-inclusive merger type thing.
Yeah, I think that's what many of the Mountain West schools would like. I think there's a few that kind of want what you were talking about initially. Robert, appreciate the call. Thank you very much. I don't think what he's talking about is totally off the table, and I think that's what Global fan fears, Nevada fan probably fears, Utah State, Hawaii. Right? There's a number of schools out there, San Jose State. And I know there's some of you are going, well, why would we be left out? Give me the one-word answer. Football. Your facility and the team's got to get better. And I mean, I hate going back and harping on it again, but those conversations, when it comes down to it, it's football. You think I'm wrong?
You're not.
All right, Dan, you want to talk about the NFL? Good morning, Dan. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, listen, I just want to comment on Barry there, the Jet fan. It's always good to hear the mother tongue coming across the Sports Animal every now and then. Colin, Barry, we're in a minority, my friend. I'm a Giants fan, but, this weekend the Jets are favored. Who knows if they're going to cover? They may win the game, but I don't know if they're going to cover. But it's always good to hear a fellow New Yorker calling in every now and then, guys. And it's always good calling in you guys. I love your show. You guys are great, man. Keep up the good work, guys.
Very much appreciate you, Dan. I was born in New York City. Did you know that? I lived my first 5 years in Flushing, in Queens. And when I get to New York, now I don't know that I got it as thick as Dan or Robert, but I think every once in a while I still got it. And if you want me, like all of a sudden I feel like I'm back. I'm in the city, right? I'm listening to it. I got a Jets fan. I got a Giants fan. I'm getting ready for somebody to tell me Dusty Baker should go manage the freaking Mets or something over here. But if I could go get two dogs with everything in a yoo-hoo and I better not chintz on the freaking crowd. I'll tell you right now, with the dirty dogs over there. But every once in a while, right, I could feel like I'm back home. If that's home, I mean, original home back in the mother tongue, as he likes to call it.
We got Sal up next. Let's talk about the Knicks.
You know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, right, I feel like way back in the day, this is how I used to hear it, right? With the Jets and the Giants and Robert, and I could do that.
You're a world traveler.
I mean, I could do we could do the whole show like that. You almost feel like I got to raise my voice.
Thinks you're a Cali kid.
Well, it's where I grew up, right? I moved when I was 5. But I was born in the city. French Hospital in New York City, in Manhattan. Lived on Parsons Boulevard in Flushing, right across from Queens College, where my mother went to school. Queens College there.
You know who else went there?
To where? Queens College?
Yeah.
John Cofino.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld went to Queens College. See? Right there in Queens. It's right there. It's in Flushing over there. Yeah, very much. All right, no, that was good. I like that. Please keep them coming. You didn't know that? You didn't know I was born in the city? All right. Rudy said Oregon State and Washington State are in a tough place. The rest of the Pac-12 is not going to sit around and let those two schools claim the assets. If the court rules in their favor, the remaining schools appeal and tie the assets up for long enough to kill Oregon State and Washington State financially. The money was earned by all the schools, not just those two. So a court would have to equitably divide the assets. So I'm not a lawyer. And so I understand that argument, right? It was earned by all of us. The way I understand it, and this is where I lean on the lawyers, there's an agreement that they understand it and the assets go to the conference to then be equally distributed or distributed however it was mutually agreed upon, correct? The conference. Now, when you leave the conference, do you still have rights to the assets? Yes, you were pivotal in generating those assets for the conference, right? When you sign the grant of rights, the way I understand it is, like you go to the Rose Bowl, and however the money goes to the league, and then it's distributed. You get your NCAA tournament shares. UCLA, Oregon, USC, Arizona. The money doesn't go directly to the school. The money goes to the conference, and then it is distributed however it was mutually agreed upon. Well, if you are no longer in the conference, even though you were responsible for generating that revenue for the conference, do you still have a right to the revenue which was generated for the conference to which you no longer belong? So, Rudy, I'm not a lawyer, but that's how I would argue against it. And I think that's what Oregon State and Washington State are saying. Hey, this is what the document says. This is the agreement. The assets aren't theirs. The assets are the league's. They've opted to leave the league. Hence, they leave behind the assets of the league. Does that sound fair? And that's how. That's what I think Oregon State and Washington State are arguing, and that's again, that's my. I live near Queens College. I didn't go to law school there, but
sounded good to me.
I mean, that's how I would argue it. Tell me where I'm wrong, though. And I obviously would have to spend a little bit more time reading the documents. And get a law degree.
Not at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
No, I slept in my own freaking bed last night. I slept in my own bed. All right, I need to tell you what artificial turf is, or not artificial, hybrid turf. Did you see, like why and what? And we spend so much damn time talking about playing surfaces. You think they play soccer? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night, and Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
5.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
I'm wondering if, like, maybe we do all accent days. You know, like one day it's just all mother tongues, right? You know, everybody, because you live out in Rio Rancho. There's a lot of people from back east of Rio Rancho. It doesn't just have to be a New York accent. It can be Boston, but go northeast one day. And then one day, y'all just come in and I'll do the South and I'll bless their heart. I'm just doing all Southern accent day. All the people with Southern accent, come on in. Is that bad?
No, that's awesome.
I mean,
I'm all for it.
I need some practice. Need a dialect coach.
You need a dialect coach. All right, OD, hey, let me give you this and we'll go to the phones. 505-246-0610. All right, the NFL's playing November games in Frankfurt. We're not doing German accent day, but that's in Germany. Just for those of you who might be geographically challenged. So it's in Deutsche Bank Park. They're playing November 5. This is a game now, dude. Chiefs Dolphins. Get up early November 5. That's a big one. And then the Patriots will play the Colts, the same place next week. The NFL's first ever games in Germany was Buccaneers and Seahawks. They complained about the surface, the playing surface. So they're installing a hybrid field because they play Bundesliga soccer there. So hybrid surfaces, I guess, are widely used across Europe in soccer stadiums. 90% more, and I'm not going to go how mummy on what the grass is, but they weave synthetic fibers into natural grass, JJ. I mean, I'm gonna lean on them. I guess they know what they're doing. It just feels weird, doesn't it? Weaving synthetic grass into natural grass. It'll be 95% natural grass. Okay.
It sounds like something that the NFL should absolutely invest in, because we talk so much about all these playing surfaces and when it gets late in the year and how do you keep grass up in the cold climates. Well, maybe a little woven in synthetic material could help with things like that.
Yeah. All right. So that's synthetic fields.
And we already know, and where the challenge is going to be in these conversations is the NFL stadiums are bending over backwards for the World Cup. They're playing the World Cup on grass.
Yeah.
But when it comes to NFL games, they're like, I don't know if we can do this.
It's a real issue. All right, Marty, you want to talk about the Lobos. What's up, Marty?
Well, guys, I think this is the biggest game in Danny Gonzalez's career. Yeah, I do. You're sitting at 3-4. You have a chance to go 500, against a very winnable opponent on the road. Although I think Vegas has got them favorites.
They do.
Got Nevada.
Nevada's by
I don't know why, but they do. Vegas is wrong sometimes. I do a lot of betting. They're wrong a lot of times. And in fact, I won money when I gone against Vegas. So
that's a good move.
That's a tip for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, you don't win this game. You're 3-5. It's a winnable game. You come back, Vegas next week. I just feel like this is a game you need to win. You go 4-4. You play at home. You got a lot of momentum. You come back, play UNLV. UNLV's been great. They've had a great year, I think, for UNLV standards.
They got a scare last year. Dude, they're 6-1. UNLV's 6-1 going to Fresno, who's 6-1 this week. That's like the game of the week right now in that league.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you got them at home. Anything's possible, right? Mountain West is showing you that anything's possible. Yep. So I think really this is a very, very big game for Lobo football. Now, Lobo basketball fan with their delusions of grandeur, they're not going to give a rip, right? Because they still think they're going to be in the Final Four.
Yep.
They're not going to give a rip. I'm talking about the hardcore Lobo football fan. This is a big game for Lobo football, in my opinion.
Fair enough. All right, Marty. Be safe out there. Appreciate you. And it's good to hear from you. It is a big game. And it's one of those where, you know what, you stack a couple together, you get to 4-4. People say, all right, you know, they wanted to beat the Aggies. They feel bad about the San Jose State second half. But all of a sudden, what'd you say? I want to see them getting better. And if you see them getting better and they're 4-4 headed into November, and, you know, no matter how good UNLV is, Lobo fans going to go, well, they're UNLV, right? By the way, UNLV, do you know who their only losses to? They've lost one game. Do you know who? They beat Vanderbilt, which SEC team, maybe not the best SEC team, but SEC team. Do you know who their one losses to? Michigan. They lost 35-7 to Michigan. Just for comparison, Michigan in league beat Nebraska 45-7, beat Minnesota 52-10, beat Indiana 52-7, and beat Michigan State 49-0. What I'm telling you is UNLV played them tighter than those. What?
They didn't.
What do you mean they didn't?
Michigan coasted in the second half.
Okay. But they didn't coast against Indiana and Michigan State either?
Not the way they did against UNLV.
Okay. I didn't watch the game. I looked at the numbers. Okay. I mean, I'm not telling you they were they almost won the game. Nobody almost won the game against Michigan. I'm telling you what the numbers tell me. Their best win is against Vanderbilt. Tough win at home. UNLV is different this year.
Doing with a freshman quarterback.
UNLV is different. They may get Brumfeld back. I looked at their depth chart this week. He's listed as number 1 maybe on their depth chart this week. But they're doing it with a true freshman quarterback. Yeah. Yeah, they got some playmakers. They got transfers. I put my boards together last night for that game. Arkansas, Michigan State. I mean, the transfers are Arizona, Oregon, from all over the place. They went there. They got a first-year coach who didn't inherit a horrible situation. I told you last year when they fired Arroyo, I was surprised. I think you were too. Yeah, but they put something together there. So they play Fresno State. That's the FS1 game late night. As you watch the Lobo game on CBS Sports, that's going to be the other game on. That's a big one. But he says it's the biggest game in Danny Gonzalez's career. It's interesting. It's a big one. It's a big one. It'll be interesting.
What's it? They've been able to put themselves in position to take a step because they had a long way to go to get anyone's attention after the New Mexico State game. That was the game that, to Marty's point, like all right, let's go root for the Lobos. Let's see what's going on. Crew's gone.
It's basketball season.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And so now this is just a step to, if you get to 4-4, you're looking down the schedule. It's not just that team in that locker room that you can talk to and see the confidence grow. Maybe at least you can get the attention for UNLV and get kind of one last ride with this fan base at home with the chance to go over 500.
All right, text line 505-246-0610. Jeff, stop. That's not good radio. Oof. Didn't like the accent. Okay. Or stopped. I mean, this one's from Terry. It says, expanded demographics. Jets and Giant fans. Glad to hear from the Witness Protection Program members, is what he says. Okay. We could do. He says, Gopher says, you sound more like Fauci than a New Yorker, Jeff. Where's Fauci from? It might be the same thing, right? I mean, it very well could be the same thing. I don't know. All right, 505-246-0610. Lobo Hobo says, correction to today's journal. It mentions Nevada lost at Kansas, but that game was in beautiful Reno. That's correct. Yeah, they may have got that wrong. I didn't read the story. This one's interesting. I don't even know if I want to get into this today. Yeah, I don't know that I do. All right. No, all right, I'll do it. I can't do that and not do it. All right. Where is it? It says, let me take the call first. You want to do that? I think I'd rather take the call first. Who do you got? Adolph. Adolph, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Adolph.
Hey, morning, fellas. You know, I was as I was detailing my car, I was thinking about the previous conversation here about quarterbacks that have had the best rookie seasons.
Yeah.
And as I was detailing the car, I said, you know what? That's a pretty intriguing question. Automatically, I thought that it was going to be Doug Williams, who came out of Grambling and led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the playoffs, an expansion team. But he didn't do that the first year. But believe it or not, just looking at the list here, and I was absolutely stunned. Both quarterbacks are tied with 13 wins, one in a 16-game season, the other in a 14-game season. It's Dak Prescott with 13 wins in a 16-game season, and Ben Roethlisberger, 13 wins in a 14-game season in 2004. I had no idea.
And two guys who didn't come in heralded, one out of Miami of Ohio, and one was, a third-round pick out of Mississippi State? Yeah.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger was 11th overall.
It's just
11th.
Incredible. And the third guy, who has 11 wins, if you will, is Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Andrew Luck was the name we got. Yeah, somebody texted that in. That was a good one. And he was a guy that you almost expected to be ready, right? He was like the guaranteed thing was Andrew Luck. And he kind of lived up to hype when he came in, And he had a good team, right? Peyton left him a decent team behind in Indianapolis. Yeah, that's good. No, I appreciate the research on that. How's the car look?
Yeah, Dak Prescott and Ben Roethlisberger. Anyway, I'm out.
All right. Hopefully the car looks good. See you, Adolph, as he was detailing the vehicle. No, that's good. I'm not telling you it never happens. That was not my point. I didn't tell you, and we were having a conversation about Jordan Love earlier. And I said, I think you almost got to treat him like a rookie because it's his first year. And I said, how many guys come in their first year and just kill it? And that text line says, Jordan Love has proven that he cannot play. There's need to draft another quarterback. I don't know what else Jordan Love needs to do to prove that he's not the man for the job. And so I think what the Packers are saying is, hey, we got nowhere to go. And they're going to play it out this year and decide that. But they're going to give him the full season, not just, what do we got, 7 games in, right? They want a bigger sample size than 7. They want the Jordan Love that led him back in the fourth quarter against New Orleans, not the guy who lost the last couple of games. And how big of a sample size do you need? If you're leaning one way or the other right now, that's fair. What more does he have to prove? I mean, fair enough. If you're a Packer fan especially, you're just like, damn, dude, we just had 2 decades of really good quarterback play. Now we got this. I get that. But the point was not that never is a quarterback ready to play right away and comes in. I mean, Dak was 13-3. Where'd that come from, right? Ben Roethlisberger. You look at other guys. I mean, Troy Aikman's first year, I think they were 1-15, weren't they? He became a Hall of Famer. Right? You said Aaron Rodgers was 6-10 the first year he played. That was his third year. It's kind of where Jordan Love is now. Now his stats were better. So I'm not ready to make a total judgment after 7 games. I don't think the Packers are either. And the Packers have nowhere to go. That's all I was saying. Not that it never happens. I'm just saying it happens more that a guy needs time to figure out how to play in the National Football League. That's all. Does it happen? Yeah. Are there examples of it? Absolutely there are. Now, I think you're hoping that Jordan Love has a better career than Dak Prescott if you're a Packer fan, right? But, yeah, it happens.
To this point, sure.
Yeah.
That's double-digit win seasons. Best playoff appearances. That's, 2-4 Packers team right now?
That's a 2-4 Packers
team. Take Dak Prescott.
2-4 Packers team, yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. We'll light you up, get you ready for whatever's coming your way on a Thursday, get you ready for the day, what people are going to be talking about. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM is 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319. Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does. The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal.
Are equitably, it's funny how it says it must have dictated it, equitably divided. That's the argument at Washington State and Oregon State, and not defeat. In other words, you don't get to keep what you didn't earn. But is it a divorce? I mean, I'm going to guess this isn't going to be in family court. I'm going to guess they're not going to see who gets the kids on the holidays and who's paying who child support, although in UCLA and Cal's case, maybe they are. Right. If there's an agreement, and again, I'm asking the question again, if there's an agreement that says the assets are community assets, if you voluntarily leave the community and the community is still there, see, in a divorce, there's no more community. You're both leaving. You're dissolving the marriage. What Oregon State and Washington State are saying is we're not dissolving the conference. The assets are conference assets. I would argue that as opposed to a divorce where the marriage dissolves and all the assets need to be divided, the conference is staying together. Us two are the conference. They've opted to leave, hence they leave behind the assets. Doesn't that sound right? Rudy, help me. I mean, isn't there a difference? I mean, if in a marriage, as you're saying, this is a big divorce. Right, in a marriage, we're dissolving the marriage. There's no more union. So there is nothing for the asset in which the assets would be held. You've got to get them or I've got to get them. What Washington State and Oregon State are saying is, no, dude. The conference is still, just because you left, all you, except for us two, doesn't mean there isn't a conference. The assets belong to the conference, and we, the two of us, are the conference, hence we get the assets. That's how I see it. That's how I would argue it. And honestly, as an unlaw educated fake lawyer on the radio, that's how I would see it. All right, 505-246-0610. Who you got? Who you got tonight? Bills? What did I tell you? 9.5? Who you got? Bills or Buccaneers tonight?
Bills.
All right, what kind of game does Josh Allen have? I think he has a good Josh Allen game tonight. This just feels like every time people come down on him and he's not the guy and they're not good, he comes back with a remind you who Josh Allen is performance.
And that's just such a wrong narrative with Josh Allen. Like, he scored the go-ahead touchdown against the Patriots and watched his defense do nothing all day. With a minute 58 left, Mac Jones drives down and scores the go-ahead touchdown. So I don't need to see anything else from Josh Allen tonight.
It's kind of like the game that he lost to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, where he scored a touchdown with 13 seconds to go and watched his defense let Patrick Mahomes get down the field.
It's one of those things. Could Josh Allen be a little bit cleaner? Sure, but that's kind of who he is now. Going to get the turnovers. To me, it's more about, can Buffalo commit to running the football? Can they get something out of James Cook to where week in and week out, Josh Allen doesn't have to be 75% of what they do with the rushing totals? You want that to be a part of it, but when it's everything, that's where it can feel like Josh Allen is doing too much. But that's what Buffalo's asking him to do. They can find a way to get James Cook going against what's been a solid defensive front at times. In Tampa Bay, Josh Allen shouldn't have any problems making plays downfield. Like, the number seems so large to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, that's just... But the one thing, too, we know, even with the Bills' defense, Tampa Bay hasn't scored. But the same thing happened last week. So I can understand where the frustration was. Like, you're going into that New England game, and all of a sudden, Mac Jones, like, wow.
What did Tampa Bay do against Detroit's defense? Put up 6?
Yeah. 6 against
Detroit. Was that last week? Or
13 against the Falcons.
Last week was 13. Yeah, they're struggling right now. Baker's struggling.
And so to me, this game is not about Josh Allen. It's the Bills' defense. Because Baker Mayfield pulls a Mac Jones performance, then you're looking at this team and going, I don't think they could win the AFC.
I think they get a big night tonight. I don't know that I think they run the football that well. I just don't know that they've got that. Right?
And Cook has looked good, but they just haven't committed to him enough. And
he's only carried the ball 88 times. Yeah. In how many games? 7? I mean, I don't know, 10, 11 times a game? 12 times a game? We'll get Stephon Diggs going. Dalton Kincaid? That's your guy. I tried to pick him up. Nobody picked him up. I put in for him. I don't think I got him. I don't see it on my transactions yet. You told me go get Dalton.
Yeah. It's going to be the lead tight end in that offense. Good pass catcher, first-round pick out of Utah. Had 8 catches, 75 yards last week.
Hey, fantasy tip. If you had Brett Maher as your kicker, go get a kicker. Rams cut him the other day. Honestly, people don't look at that. Oh, I got the Rams, whatever. Rams cut their kicker. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point the other day. Go get a kicker. Don't go into the weekend without a kicker. Just trying to help you out. That's a public service by me. Didn't get into this. Dusty Baker retired this morning. He says he's retiring. They're going to hold a press conference today. 74 years old. Said I feel like they've been good. They've been good for me, and I've been good for them. Thankful for the Houston Astros. I mean, I told you yesterday or the day before, whatever it was, one of the best managerial hires ever. One of the best leadership hires in the history of sports. I'm not telling you he's the best manager in the history of sports. That's not what I'm telling you.
Very good manager.
Although he's a pretty good
Very good manager.
What I'm telling you is at that time in that organization, they hit on the absolute perfect dude in the most imperfect, well, there's been more imperfect situations. In a very tumultuous situation. I mean, more imperfect situations would be when you have really crummy teams. They had a really good team with a young core that was ready to go into its prime, that was coming off the biggest scandal in baseball in this generation, right? Since steroids. And would you say it was bigger than that? And they hit a home run with that hire. I mean, flat out. Thank you to Andrew Henry. He was our guest today. If you missed the running back for the Lobos, it's available for you at sportschannelabq.com. Click on the opening drive and get a listen to that. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports was with us as well. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. NFL football, Bills and Bucks tonight at 6:15 kickoff. And then we're going to come back and do award-winning radio for you tomorrow morning. And we're going to start at, 7 a.m.? Adrian, great show. It looks good, man. Thanks for getting out there. We got a guest on. He's got pictures of the guest up there. We got all the content that you get there. It looks great, and we appreciate it. DC, great day as always. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy the hoops tonight as well. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro Beef. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.